Boy, that intro will wake you up.
Yes.
It startles you every time. Boom.
Yeah.
We are back at it. Big news going on tonight. Don't know if it's going to lead to anything, but of course, talking about the Epstein files finally supposedly going to be released, which we're going to get to here shortly. But gather your thoughts on that, because we'll be getting into that. But first, wanted to talk about furries. What is a furry? Can someone explain to me what this furry thing is?
Are they back?
What are furries?
Furries came back.
They're basically nerds dressed up in mascot costumes, and apparently they just hit the woods and have like bonfire orgies or some shit.
So it's crazy. Like, what is it with basically that guy, what was his name, Crooks or whatever, that tried to take out Trump?
Mm-hmm.
Before the whole story from the FBI and everything was that he had no online. They had no online life. This kid was just like, he didn't exist online.
Mm-hmm.
And apparently, from what they're uncovering now, that was all bullshit. It was all lies. He basically had, I think he had like 17 accounts of some shit, and then he was started off as a right wing kind of, Trump lover and shit like that, and then somehow go down these rabbit holes, I guess, where he kind of transformed into this liberal leftist furry guy, and then decided, well, I'm gonna take out Trump now, and
So like the exact same story of the whatever the fuck buddy's name is that took out Charlie Kirk.
Yeah, exactly.
Same
and that's
story.
kind of what, so that's why I was wondering, like, what the hell are these furries and what are they doing to these young men? You know what I mean? Because it's like both of them were into that shit. Is that just some weird shit that the gay, like, trans community is into, or does that have nothing to do with that?
Yeah,
Okay.
it's all wrapped up in that, and like, you can go out there and identify as a dinosaur, and
Nice. So
mate with a camel or some shit.
Well, what makes you crazy doing it? Or are they already crazy when they start doing it?
Yeah, that's got to be like, you have to
probably
already have a fucked up mind to hop in a furry suit and
Yeah, I didn't think about that. That's probably more what it is, that you're already nuts to even want to start doing that. But, basically I was listening to, Glenn Beck. He was talking about it and just how much of a lie that's been with that Matthew, that Thomas, I say Matthew because that's his middle name, but Thomas Crooks, the 20-year-old who tried to take out Trump. But, they were talking about the FBI spent months falsely claiming that he had no online footprint, while they were hiding a years-long digital trail of extremist posts across multiple platforms, including Discord, Snapchat, YouTube, as well as an extensive search history in the days leading up to the assassination attempt. Like I mentioned before, he started off as a pro-Trump kind of far-right teen, advocating dictatorship and racial violence and shit like that. And somehow he flipped, like he got groomed, I guess, online, and just decided to go the total opposite way. So apparently this kid had some issues to begin with, because it sounds like he was very moldable, his mind. But it's just odd. Like, what would the FBI, like, why hide any kind of information about this kid and lie saying he had no online footprint? It just makes you, like, what? And they don't want you. They don't want you to think that this was any type of inside job. But then you find out shit like that.
Yeah. What up, Matt?
What's up, Matt?
I was kind of pondering that a second ago, but the only thing I can think is that they were hiding it basically for the election.
Yeah. Well, and it's funny because both administrations lied about it.
Yeah.
I can see what Biden and all of them, of course, they were going to cover up everything. But then, after the election, Trump appointed Kash Patel and Dan Bongino into positions in the Department of Justice. And then the FBI continued to uphold that original narrative. So, you know what I mean? Like, why would both administrations be lying about this?
Right.
And I don't think
but
it's
I mean,
Trump
even if it
directing them to
wasn't,
lie.
right. I was going to say, even if it was an inside job, like why would Trump lie about it?
No, that's what I mean. I don't think Trump has the information, because, Trump, and not just Trump, but any president, I think he only knows what they tell him.
Right.
You know, any president, you know, these other departments, these 3-letter, you know, organizations like the FBI and, you know, the CIA and all that shit, you're only going to know what they're going to tell you, you know, because you're president, you're not king, even, you know, because of all this No Kings rally. So, you know, he's not a king. And when you're only in there, it's a temporary position, basically, the president.
Yeah.
So the last thing they're going to do is divulge everything to some guy that may be gone in 4 years. You know, so I just think it's so much bigger than the president. This,
But
just
you could
behind
also
the
say
scenes
the same
stuff.
thing about like the director of the FBI, you know, like he's going to be gone.
True. Yeah, because he's appointed. So the next administration is going to come in and probably cut him loose. So why?
Right,
So I get what you're saying. Like, why would he be in on this? So, but then that's a good question. Like, why?
And if, you know, as the director of the FBI, I assume you need to know all this information, but why give the information to him and not the president, you know, if he's going to be gone too?
Yeah, I dude, I don't know. That's what I mean. It's like, why would, you know, the FBI, like you said, you can see from the former administration, of course, because they were in on this. You know what I mean? The way I see it, the way the narrative is spun sometimes, it seems like they had something to do with this guy, allowing this guy to take a shot at Trump. So I can see why they would not want all that information out, because for one, they sent his body to be cremated fast. Like, everything was done with this kid. Everything was wiped clean. They lied about his online footprint. And then the lies continued into the next administration, which is what's, you know, throwing me off as well as you. Like, why would the FBI, when it's Trump's appointment, you know, he appointed these people, why would they continue to go with this lie? It makes no sense. You know,
really none at all.
No, I mean, it's a very odd situation. Like, how are they in on this, but yet Trump ain't? I wouldn't think. I mean, why would Trump want to hide that?
Yeah, I really don't know. I mean, is it possible that that's the information that they had when they assumed office as, you know, the as far as the director? And
that's a good question. I mean, they're only going to have what's left behind.
Right.
You know what I mean? The information. But once they knew more, this wasn't like all this stuff that I'm talking about right now about how he's been online and everything. This wasn't done. The FBI didn't release this information, basically.
Right.
This was Tucker Carlson and Glenn Beck and all of them digging into this shit, doing their own type of research to find this out. So it still wasn't released by this administration. You would think it would be. You'd say, hey, look, we found out that the last administration was lying to y'all about the guy that attempted to take out, you know, President Trump. But you never heard that from them. So I don't know. It's very odd, man. It's very odd. But I do want to welcome everybody. Hold on one second. I want to welcome everybody tuning in. I see we got a few eyes on us. You know, we thank you all for watching. We're on here shooting the shit. Main story, of course, is the Epstein files, but we were just kind of getting into this Thomas Crooks guy with a little information coming out on him, the guy, attempted assassin for President Trump, if y'all don't remember. But anyway, what were you saying, Justin?
I don't even remember.
But anyway, yeah, I try to wrap my head around it, and I was thinking, you know, like I said, the president is only told, you know, what he's told. I mean, they don't have to tell him everything. But then you brought up a good point. Then why, you know, you would think they wouldn't tell the current FBI people that, you know, that Trump puts in office. So you would think they'd hold that information from them too. But, you know, I think
it'd be like so much information will be getting withheld from so many different positions that nobody would be able to do their job, which maybe that's the problem, honestly.
True. No, that's true, man. That's true. But anyway, when we get into the Epstein stuff, they say Trump just signed the bill, you know, about maybe 45 minutes ago. He did sign it to release it. Now, the big question is, what the fuck's going to be in these files? Kristen, you think there's going to be any kind of just, I mean, smoking guns, just, you know, people going to prison type shit in these files?
No, it's probably going to be them talking about, let's go to dinner. Okay.
As far as what they're going to release, huh?
Yeah.
Because that, you know, they're already starting their shit because, you know, people in, you know, in government are saying that it's basically a national security risk to release these files without redactions in them. So it's another one of these ploys that the government does, and they've got a history of doing it by saying we're going to do something or not do something, and it's all in the name of protecting you. You know what I mean? And that's kind of how they're framing this, that, well, we're going to have to leave some stuff out, but it's for your security, you know, it's for national security. So it lets you know right there that it's probably, there's nothing going to be in these files that's just, you know, we're going to make people's heads explode. I just can't see it.
Isn't that what the Louisiana dude that voted no, the only no vote, I think that's what he said, was that releasing the files was going to basically cause a national security issue. So he voted no. The one.
Is that what he was? Yeah, he, I think that's what he was saying. That was the excuse he was using. And I'm like, what is the national security issue? I mean,
national
to me,
security, like,
yeah, it just seems like a huge excuse to still, you know, not let anything out. You know,
it does, because it's a very blanket term, you know, it's national security. People, you know, I guess they hope people freak out like, oh my God, we don't want to destroy the country with the Epstein files. Fuck off.
Yeah. Hold on. Brad's trying to get in on this. Let's see if Brad, you there?
Hello. Can you hear me?
My boy. You can. You
hear me now?
Yeah, I hear you. Let me get you set up on the screen.
All right. I'm back. A little technical difficulty down here, you know.
There he is. Brad, I wanted to ask you, because I asked the other guys, when this Epstein files are released, is it just going to be this explosion of information or what? What are we going with here?
I think a lot of it's going to be redacted for sure, you know. So
do you think that's an easy excuse for them to use to not really put anything out? You know what I mean? Just like, oh, well, you know, there's not much in it, but we had to redact it. Because like I was just telling them, the reason they're claiming that they're redacting a bunch of shit is for national security, you know? So it's like, it's easy to hide behind that.
No, it is. Absolutely. 100%, you know? Yeah, it's crazy when you think about that, because I think there's prominent names that are going to be exposed on it. And when you start getting into it, it's like, has a former president ever, you know, been caught up in this kind of BS, you know, besides like Nixon with Watergate and stuff like that, you know? So I don't know. I think we're in some crazy times. I really do. It's going to be interesting. I say, let it fly, to be honest with you. wherever the shit may fall, let's do it.
Yeah. And
you know,
I know a lot, you know, like we got a little comment here. It's regards to disclosing the witnesses, informants, and victims. I get all that, but there's victims that are coming out. They just did a damn commercial during a football game this past weekend, you know, and I'm not saying every victim's, you know, wanting to be public.
I mean, if that were the case, why would every huge federal court case not be a national security risk? There's huge names that get wrapped up in federal trials and even state trials all the time that, I mean, you can request the information and get it, you know?
Yeah, and
they just say witness A, witness B, co-conspirator C, you know?
Yeah, we don't care about the nobody wants to, the victims. We don't care about that.
Yeah, I don't
Redact
need first
those
name,
names
last name,
all you
Social
want.
Security, like, just
what the world wants to see are the people, the perpetrators in these crimes. This Ghislaine or whatever, however you pronounce her name, Maxwell, went to prison for a reason. You know what I mean? She went to prison for trafficking people to this island and helping out with all of that. So who was benefiting from these crimes that she was committing besides Jeffrey Epstein? I mean, he wasn't the only one over there benefiting from that. So hide the victims' names all you want. But then, like I said, there's victims that are coming forward. They're doing fucking commercials. Well, why don't they scream the names from the mountaintop? You know what I mean? Like, why don't these victims say it?
Yeah.
It's the only reason I can think is maybe they signed, you know, these NDAs, you know, to where, because I think there were settlements done years ago.
Who's going to sue
a lot of well, they'll lose. Like if you get a settlement from a lawsuit and part of that agreement was you can't fucking talk about it,
but the agreement would be with Epstein, no?
Well, no, probably with his estate and with, you know, how all that legal shit works, you know, back I don't know. It's wealthy people shit with teams of lawyers and shit. And, basically your ass can get sued for what they gave you is the only reason I can see, to try to give them the benefit of the doubt of why they're not saying names. You know what I mean? It's because they're sure on TV telling them to release the list. So I don't know, man. I don't know. I know everybody's kind of, everybody's excited about it because they voted to release this shit, but I just don't see it leading to anything. Well, let's see what Smelly Balls has to say in the comment section. Let's see. Smelly Balls is because it exposes our government. I agree. It's compliant with child trafficking. I think it is going to expose a lot of names that were involved in some bad shit, is all I can see. I don't like the games they've been playing with it, from day one. I mean, this list was supposed to have been out, and there's always an excuse. And it's always, like I said, it's hiding behind we're protecting you and we're protecting people. You know what I mean? So, yeah, them comments are crazy. Oh, y'all got to stop. I did hear that, it's funny too, because I see the comment right now about Trump doing, supposedly doing that to Clinton. Yep. I did see that story come across. Yeah. And I'm like, these people are just throwing shit out there. Now he was sitting there giving a blowjob to Bill Clinton. Oh my God.
Trump, yeah.
It's nuts, dude. It's nuts. But anyway,
Trump and Monica hanging out.
Yeah.
Licking on Bill.
I did see that come across, and I'm thinking, my God, they will post anything online nowadays. And then I'm seeing a back and forth. Like, you got Epstein, his brother coming out, saying that Trump was never involved in any of the shady shit that was going on over there, and then I don't know. Then another person will come out, accusing Trump of doing what he's talking about doing with Clinton. And it's just so back and forth with all this shit. I would have to believe that if they had anything on Trump, that shit would have been out.
Well, who is Katie Johnson?
I don't know why. I don't.
Well, so on EpsteinArchive.org, it's basically an archive of everything that's come out so far about the Epstein shit. And there's a Katie Johnson, California lawsuit, and it's a complaint filed against Epstein and Trump, where basically in the whole complaint is talking about, she was 15 at the time, and basically,
it rings a bell now. I just don't remember the entire the story.
Yeah, basically, multiple occasions of Trump and Epstein raping, graping, however we have to say it today. I don't fucking know. But her and some other 13-year-old during like massages and shit, So I didn't know if anything had ever came from that, and it's not really talked about very often. So
no, and something would have. Like I said, if they had any dirt on Trump over the past few years, if any name would have been tied to this outside of Epstein, his would have. As far as being proof, because his name's tied to it, but as far as like bringing any kind of proof forward, they would have thrown that shit out there for sure.
Yeah, and this was filed April 26, 2016. Yeah. She was seeking $100 million.
Damn.
But it doesn't say what came from it.
Yeah.
It's just
because she was seeking it. I mean, I'm seeking it too. I was there. Trump touched me. I want my $100 million.
And her name pops up a bunch, in the archives of the Epstein shit. I just had never heard her name before, so I didn't know if she was somebody important in all this.
No, like I said, it does ring a bell. It's just, man, this shit it's been going on for so long now. I mean, I forget half of the people that are even, accusing and just throwing out all this daily, this news that changes daily with this shit. It's hard to even keep up with all of it. I'm just stuck on, I don't think you're going to find out anything super, important in this list. I just don't think there's anything left in it incriminating.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And if they had anything on Trump incriminating, that shit would have been out.
Yeah. I would think so.
I mean, they tried to kill it out.
Yep.
Yeah, and it's a good point brought on by Christopher here. I mean, the last administration had these files. They had them, and now, for all of a sudden, Trump's in office and they're screaming, "Release the files! Release the files!" And it's like, y'all had them. Y'all had them for 4 years, and did nothing with them for some reason. Because I think what was Epstein, I think all this shit came to light, or he was at least he died or whatever during Trump's last year or something on his first term, if I'm not mistaken.
Something like that.
So then the Democrats had that whole 4 years to do something with this information. They did absolutely nothing.
Yeah, the federal indictment came in 2019.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
and,
midway, yeah.
And Teddy's right. It would be overly redacted. It will. And like I said, they're already hiding behind national security reasons. So it's easy to say that shit, man. It's really disgusting, you know. But I guess you got to expect it with this government, or any government really around the world. I mean, they're only going to tell you what they want to tell you, and then you're basically, their attitude is, what are you going to do about it? You know, this is the information.
Much.
It's kind of like when they put that video out of Epstein, where they were like, see, nothing happened to him in prison, and a whole minute's gone. And they didn't even give a fuck enough to make sure that that glitch didn't show, you know, because then they chalked it up to, the system does that every night. And then later on, they found, quote unquote, found the missing minute all of a sudden. And they're like, see, here's the missing minute. It's nothing. And this is the shit they throw at us as the American people. Like, here, take this shit, you know, and do what you want with it. We don't care.
Yeah, we're not hiding
ridiculous.
anything.
Exactly. It's a slap in the
nothing.
fucking face because they don't care, you know?
So you don't see anybody coming to justice on this?
Fuck no.
Gotcha.
Well, didn't the prince lose his apartment on the Royal Palace or some shit? He get kicked out, living under the bridges or something now?
Prince Andrew?
Yeah, that guy.
Yeah, he's living under the bridge, from what I heard.
He lost it. I don't know why, Brad. What you think? I mean, do you think there's going to be any names in this shit that's really going to lead to anything, or are you just hopeful? Or
I don't know, man. I look at Trump, the way he does everything, and it's just like, you know, when he came out, when Charlie Kirk was assassinated, he came out and he said, y'all are still all on this and still worried about Epstein. And it's like, then all of a sudden the Democrats, we got to release all these files. And then it just kind of, I don't know. If anything, honestly, I mean, I think you're going to see a lot of Democrat names on it. Not to say there's not Republican names, but I mean, the question I have is, who's going to go down for what they've done? Where's the true proof in the pudding that it was, you know, what was going on that island? You know, I don't know. I don't know if you'll ever see any justice out of it. You know,
right? Because it's kind of like Teddy's saying here. You know, that there's already so many names public. That's true. There's been a lot of names.
Sure.
You know what I mean? But nobody. It's holding somebody accountable is the problem, you know, besides this Maxwell chick, you know what I mean? Like if this shit goes as deep as they claim it does, well, if it's such a national security threat, then that means there's some big people involved.
Sure.
So
absolutely.
At least, show me that you're going to take at least one of these son of a bitches down, and I'll have a little bit more faith in this system. But you know how this is. I mean, it's a 2-tier system. It's them and there's us. You know,
exactly,
because none of this shit would be redacted if that were us running a fucking scheme like they were doing. You know, bringing in,
or even like Bill and Hillary Clinton, man. You know, they're like, we will not even answer the subpoenas from the Senate, you know, or from or from Congress, you know. And it's like, if you and I did that, of course we would be arrested.
Yeah,
you know,
and they don't have to. That's all they have to say.
Exactly.
I mean, it's just what it is. So it's hard to have any faith in any of that, man. For sure.
We all know that something was going on. You know, it wouldn't even be a hot topic to today if there was not some bullshit going on out there. So, but what it is, will we ever know the true depth of it? Probably not. I don't see it. You know,
it's kind of like before you got on with us, we were talking about that Thomas Crooks issue going on right now, which is, you know, the kid that tried to take out Trump that time. Well, according to the last DOJ, you know, under Biden and them, and then Trump's Department of Justice, the people he have, both administrations are saying, going with the story that this kid had no online footprint at all. They didn't, you know, and then it comes out, people do a little digging, and the motherfucker was all over the internet being radicalized. You know what I mean? So me and Justin were kind of like, why would both administrations be hiding that information? It's weird, man. You know, even these guys that Trump put up there, they were still running with it. That, no, we don't know nothing about this kid. You know?
Yeah, exactly.
And it's like, it's so hard to just, I don't know, it's so hard to wrap your head around it. But I just don't think that we think like those people do that are high up in government, man. You know, that it's just so much bigger than what we can even imagine, just the corruption and what their true goals are, you know.
It's deep. It's very
Of
deep.
course it is.
You
And
know?
it goes
look,
like go ahead.
No, like I've always said, if the truth was known about what was going on, if it's trafficking children or young women or young boys. I mean, of course, everybody thinks it's women, but from what I've been reading and hearing, there's boys involved with this too, young kids, you know. So if you look at it, yeah, and I say it would just totally, if the truth came out about these elites that have dibbled or dabbled in some of this shit, and even actors and stuff. When I say elites, dude, I truly believe it would rock the moral fabric of this country anyway, you know.
Well, supposedly his brother, Epstein's brother, spoke out and was saying that, you know, he's saying these files are currently being sanitized to remove the names of high-ranking politicians, you know. And I mean, how does he know, or what does he know? I don't know, but it sounds about right, you know. Sounds about right. So anyway, you know, like I said, big news, Epstein shit coming out. I'm not really excited about it, but of course we're going to follow it, pay attention, and see exactly what happens. It would just be nice if somebody else was held accountable if those crimes are really going on like that.
Yeah, but somebody said it in the comments. The motherfuckers that are supposed to hold people accountable are going to be in the files. So
thank you. Exactly. That's the whole problem. I think that's been the issue since day one. Is that you're right? The people that can do anything about this are part of it.
Yep.
You know, and that's a lot of cases that go on in this country and around the world, you know.
And, you know, you even go back to even smaller cases that I consider, which I think is big, but you go back to smaller cases, even look at back in the day, like Anthony Weiner, you know, Hillary Clinton's people, you know, you go back there and it's just, you start digging and it's like, where's your laptop, dude? Or where's Hunter's laptop? And it's like, I think it's all so deep, and I don't know. I just,
well, it is,
you know, for the average person, could they handle probably what they saw on a lot of those computers and stuff out there? Probably not. You know, it would be
well,
crazy.
even like you said, the you know, the Hunter Biden things and you know, all that shit. It all goes back to what Justin was just saying, that the people that would actually hold these people accountable are all they're part of it. They're close to it. They're too, you know, I mean, everybody, it's just a big old circle they're all in, and they tend to not hold each other accountable. They talk a lot of shit, you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
They're on X all day long about release the files, and it's like, okay, they're going to release them, and then what? You know, and then what? Right. The Democrats are acting like they're just so excited now that these files are getting released, and because they know nothing's going to come of it. But it made them look like the good guy in this, because they've been pushing that issue for months now about releasing these files. And it's like, yeah, that's easy to do when you know there's not shit going to come out from that. It's kind of like I see Elizabeth Warren. She's on X earlier talking about it needs to be legal for people in Congress to basically play stocks, you know, and buy stocks and invest in the stock market. Okay. Yeah, it sounds great, right? It's good virtue signaling on her part, because she knows that'll never get passed. But it makes her look good. Oh, look, I was all for it getting banned, but, you know, they won't even talk about it. It's like, that bitch is profiting too from the fucking stock market, and she knows it. Yep. So it's just like that, you know, they holler these things to make themselves look better, knowing that nothing's ever going to come of it. And that's just
the same thing. It's the same thing like Ted Cruz, man. You know, when the Democrats are in power, we need term limits. Gotta have term limits. Guess what? I have not heard Ted Cruz speak about term limits, you know, during this administration, you know.
No, that's a good point.
It's just hypocrisy. Yeah, exactly.
I forgot about him championing for that, you know, the term limits, because he knows who the fuck who's going to vote for that? You know,
exactly.
Like, why would you vote for term limits if you're part of this fucking group? I mean, it makes no sense. And he knows. It's kind of like when they vote for a raise, you know? Well, fuck. I mean, they look at the asshole voting no, like, motherfucker, like, you know? But then somebody always has to play the good guy, like, you know, well, I voted no, but he knew that shit was going to pass. They were going to get the raise, but you know what I mean? It's just a game they all play, and they know it.
I'm telling you. It reminds me of like the two dogs barking at each other through the gate, and the gate opens, and they just like fucking,
yeah, like so.
You know? It's like they talk all that shit until they have the power to do something, and then it's like, what? Not, I didn't say that. No, not me.
Kristen, what is your take on all this? You seem like you're just like these motherfuckers won't stop.
She's into it.
Yeah.
I'm so over Epstein.
I'm with you.
just
I
can't
am too.
anymore.
Yeah, me too.
No.
Yeah, it is what it is. You know,
I am too. Well, let's
nothing's
move
going to come
on
out
then.
of it.
Justin,
Yeah.
we're going to move on to will this guy get off of this, crime he's been charged of?
No.
No, you might be right. I'll break it down. A Michigan man fatally shot 18 who broke into his garage. He is now facing a manslaughter rap, sparking controversy over the state's stand your ground law. So apparently they have that in the state that this happened in. Now, 17-year-old with 6 other, mainly teenagers, the group broke into this guy's home, and shortly after 1 a.m., okay, middle of the night, they break into this guy's home. Now, I want to say they broke, I think it was the garage they broke into, but he got an alert from his home security system. He grabbed his 9mm, ran outside, fired 2 shots into the garage through a windowless door. So he didn't see who was in there, but he knew somebody was. Well, of course, he struck one of them. That person's no longer with us. He fired 5 more shots before going back into the house. Now, this is after they started to flee.
Damn.
He finally opens the door and he pops off 5 more rounds, reloading his gun and returning outside. So, teenager died. Like I said, another one shot in the leg. Well, of course, they charged this guy. I want to say, and what was it? Charged with manslaughter, assault, and intent to cause bodily harm. He faces up to 15 years behind bars. So, what say you, Justin? I know you're a pretty good Second Amendment advocate, which we all are here. But the stand your ground thing. Somebody's breaking into your garage. You don't know who the fuck they are, but you go blindly firing shots through a door. Does this guy stand a chance in a courtroom?
No.
You sit.
Damn, I hate y'all, man.
sit-
I always want y'all to be like, yeah, tell motherfuckers to
Yeah,
stay out
fuck
of my
'em.
fucking,
Yeah.
get off my property.
No. Because
He doesn't,
because
dude. Yeah.
I'm willing to say that everybody's garage door between their living area and their garage has a lock on it, right? And it's a
Yes.
sturdy door. It's not a fucking flimsy inside door. Like it's an exterior door, right?
Steel
So it'd be the
door,
same thing
right.
as if somebody broke into your front porch through your screen door, and then you just shot through the front door.
I hate you.
Yeah. No.
Yeah, but I don't
What?
see why that's a problem.
See,
Why? Because
Kristen's on my side.
you can't just want to hunt any
So,
motherfucker that
wait,
walks on your
pause.
property. Like that's
No.
just hunting. You have
Hold
to
on.
be in fear of your life.
If somebody is breaking into my house,
Your house,
Your
I
house.
can't-
Right.
your
Well,
living area.
Is your garage not? What if
Okay.
I,
what if they come on my porch?
No, you can't
It's
shoot
a
yourself
tough-
coming on your porch. No.
well, didn't we
No.
just see that with that documentary on Netflix? Where
we did.
the girl was beating on the damn door, and then that woman shot through it. I don't forget the name of the documentary, but people who saw it know what I'm talking about. But anyway, she got charged and went to prison for it because she shot through her door while the girl
Yeah, but
was
she
banging on it.
planned that. She wanted that lady.
I wanna-
dead.
Well,
and
right.
The kids.
But it was like Justin saying that if you're not making entry into the house, then a lot of times they say you don't have a leg to stand on. But this is a stand your ground type thing, and it's like,
Yes.
at what point do you get to protect yourself with lethal force? If a motherfucker is in my garage, how do I know their intent?
But
Broke into my
it doesn't
garage.
matter their intent. Like it'd be the same thing if their intent doesn't matter until they have a way of doing something, right? If
Bodily harm. right.
if
Yes.
Brad, don't encourage him.
if a cripple breaks into your house, or
Right.
just complete paraplegic, right? Paralyzed from the neck down, it says, I'm going to shoot you, right? Even if he
Right.
has the intent to do so, he doesn't have the ability to do that. So you can't whip out a 45 and blow his head off, right? You can't do that.
Right. No.
You have to have a reasonable fear of your life being taken, right? And somebody meddling around your property is not reasonable fear that you're going to die
So,
Yeah, but-
or be greatly injured.
well, let me see, because I'm getting into the comments right now, and one of them is the garage is attached to the house. The door may not have a nice bolt on it. They have already broken to your home.
And-
That's kind of how I saw it. Another comment: Michigan, an attached garage is considered residence, and you may use deadly force. But if it's detached, of course, if it's a detached garage, then yeah, they're not. So
Yeah.
that's kind of where my mind goes. Now, apparently, the law says different
And-
because they did arrest the guy.
Well, and the lawyers and the prosecution are going to argue that, right? I think a big point to this case is going to be whether his garage door was sturdy and did have, locks and bolts on it, right? If it was just a normal bedroom door between his garage and his house, there is no safety. There's no shield there anymore, right? So then the defense can say, look, they broke into his only mode of defense in his castle. Like, they broke that one door. This door is flimsy. It doesn't have locks. They can easily walk into it. Now they are a threat, right?
Yeah.
But if you have a locked door between you and the threat, they're not a threat to you.
So
at that moment.
And I see it. You're arguing it from the prosecution's standpoint. I get it. I get what you're saying. I'm looking at it from more of I don't know. They say you can protect yourself, but then they want to draw these lines, and I understand it. It can't just be a free for all where, it's like for instance, they had that story not too long ago where I want to say it was a guy that was a cop, and that Uber driver or something, or the he was delivering food or something, and it was at the wrong house, and the guy comes running out the house popping shots at the fucking car. Do you remember that story? Right. Well, that's totally wrong. I'm not saying you can just go out and do that. But when my garage, to me, is considered part of my home because the door is never locked going from my garage to my house. You know what I mean? If you get in my garage, you can walk into my house. So why am I not allowed to protect myself if you enter that part of my property? It's just very...
But you could argue that. Your defense could argue that. If your door was unlocked, like, look, there was nothing protecting him. Now, I think it would be a very hard defense still, you know, but, and I'm not saying I agree with this, and,
I know.
Because I see the comments, but, like, I am very big on stand your ground and castle doctrines. Like, I believe that if anybody is wrongfully in your house while you're in it, then sorry about your bad luck. Like, they're out of here, right?
Yes.
But again, there are there's sections to it, right? Like, if you had a closed-in screen porch, right, and somebody busts through that door, well, you can't say I was in fear for my life, and just start shooting and unloading on the porch, right? Like, you just can't do it.
I'm taking them out.
But, like, how? Like,
terminated them motherfuckers. No, I'm just kidding. Well,
Justin, I agree with you.
Self-defense
I really do.
isn't the stand your ground isn't to protect your property, right? Like, it's not I'm protecting my house.
I get what you're saying.
It's I'm protecting the people inside my house.
Right. Well, let me ask you this. Brad, 100%. Do you have a garage attached to your home?
Not no more.
Okay. If you did, and in the middle of the night, you heard or somehow found out security system, whatever, that somebody not just walked into your open garage, but broke into it.
Yes.
It wouldn't cross your mind to go grab a firearm and try to defend your home?
Yeah, it would absolutely do, but it would not mean that I would fire through the door because is my life truly in danger? Because you know what? You could steal my car. That's replaceable. You could steal the camp stove or whatever might be in there, Yeah, you can steal that. But to fire through a door, like, I know between when I had a garage, I closed it in, but when I had a garage, I had a steel door right there. So if they were beating on it, it is what it is. I can't say I would fire through it, but if you came through the door, then that's a whole nother issue.
And that's understandable. I get that, because I think it is kind of blindly firing through the door. Suppose it's just some kids being mischievous. It's a fucking 12-year-old.
Exactly.
Now, granted, he should not be in your shit, and he should probably suffer some sort of legal consequence.
Trespassing or some bullshit.
Right. It doesn't warrant a death penalty, Now, this was a group of teenagers. If you see them, I guess your fear level can go up if you see a group of people. But to me, just having the gun, I probably would have opened the door and been like, what the fuck are y'all doing? And they would have hauled ass. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And if they didn't and you shot, then it's like, hey, I was investigating a noise and there happened to be 8 people in the garage.
Yeah,
that changes the whole dynamics. That changes the whole dynamics.
If you open the door going from the house to the garage and they start to come at you, that's probably a different story.
All day long. You're going to
season.
be in bed that night for sure.
I get it. I do get it. Like I said, I don't think what they were doing warranted a death penalty. I see so many of these cases where people are protecting their home and, they kill somebody over it and then they wind up facing charges. And I'm like, stay the fuck out of people's shit and people won't be shooting at you.
But
You
that's
know?
the problem. You said it right there. Is people are protecting their houses, right?
Right.
And
not
it's
their-
all written in law to protect yourself and your family.
Gotcha. Yeah, it's kind of
You
like if
hit
you
the
see
nail
them
right on
breaking
the
into
head.
your car, you can't shoot them, because we had a case like that in New Orleans not too long ago, and a guy was seeing somebody breaking into his car, and he shoots them. And of course, the guy goes to fucking jail. Like, yeah, you can,
Exactly.
I get it. I'm just doing, from an emotional standpoint. Like, if you're in my shit, trying to take my shit, fuck you and anything that happens to you. Now, the law doesn't look at it like that. I get it, but keep your fucking hands off of my shit and stay off my property. That's all.
Buy
there is to it.
paintball guns and marbles.
That's
and
true.
Like Teddy said, what if you're visiting a friend and they said the door's open and you accidentally walk into the neighbor's front door? Does a homeowner have the right to shoot you, right? But I feel like there's also, as a homeowner and a responsible gun owner, there's some context clues, right? Like I've had
100%.
an old lady walk into the house as I'm in the living room sitting on the couch.
Like one of your
She's still
neighbors?
alive.
One of your neighbors you're talking about? Yeah.
Yeah, she had dementia and thought she was at her house. And
Yeah,
like
but
I said, she's still alive. But
what if it was,
she have kicked the door in?
what if it was 1 o'clock in the morning and you had no clue that it was an old lady, and it was just a figure walking in, to your house?
Well, I guess I'm saying, like, if my door was unlocked and they just walked in, like, I wouldn't come downstairs blasting. I'd be like, well, what the fuck, But
Exactly.
You're not coming out two fisting that motherfucker.
No, but if it's 1 a.m. or even if it's 12 p.m.
I'm coming out like this, like Laura
kicks
Croft,
the
man.
door in, it's like, if you're busting the door down, I don't care what time of day it is, who you are.
Yes,
There's
there's intent.
in.
There's
Sorry.
intent for bodily harm. Absolutely, dude. You look, as like you said, Justin, as a responsible gun owner, and if you're responsible and you're trained with guns, when and when not to do what you got to do. Absolutely.
You can tell when there's intent behind what they're doing, when there's aggressiveness. Granny's taking a ride.
Somebody said Granny's taking a ride. She walks into my house in the middle of the night.
Dude, she did. We was sitting on the couch and she walked in, she opened the door and she was like, "What the fuck are y'all doing in my house?" Or no, I think she asked us, who the fuck are y'all? And we're like,
"What
the fuck are you?" Like,
fuck are you, old lady?
Yeah. The police wound up coming and she was watching her 2 grandkids actually. And somehow she escaped. And
they were letting this woman watch her grandkids?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
God's sakes.
Christ.
Wait, so do y'all remember the dad shot the daughter's ex-boyfriend through the door because he was trying to break in?
Fuck right,
that?
I do. Yeah.
Absolutely.
He didn't try to break in. That
What
bitch
happened?
pushed through the door.
He
got
pushed
off,
through the
didn't he?
door.
He got off, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But see, that's the difference. He was kicking that door, and the dad
Absolutely.
shot, and as soon as the door broke and started opening, he shot. But he was entering that house in an aggressive manner with some sort of negative intent.
Okay, so say my door.
Mhm.
Someone's like kicking it, trying to get in, going crazy.
Yep.
I have to wait until the door's open or they come in.
It
would
crazy,
be better in
but-
your defense.
Yes.
It would
Yeah,
be
Unless
better
you
in
look
your
on
defense.
your camera, if they have a gun in their hand, say you check your Ring camera or whatever, doorbell camera, and they have a gun in their hand and they're kicking it, pointing the gun at the house, and you're on the other side of that door, then you would have a much better defense and a much easier time getting off on that
absolutely.
if you shot through the door.
Well, let me ask you this. Suppose, she's home by herself, woman by herself, middle of the night, somebody's beating on her door. Now, she has no history with this person, so there's nothing they can look at and say, well, y'all had beef and you were wanting her to come over, you were wanting this person to come over so you could shoot him, like that Netflix documentary. But just some stranger. Does she have a better defense being that she's home alone as a female and was scared to death because someone was beating on her fucking door?
No,
You think she
not if
stands
the
a better
door's not
chance than
broken.
us?
No.
Mm-mm.
Well, you
No,
hear
not
it, Kristen.
really.
I
Let
guess
them
I'm going
open
to
the
jail.
door. Well, just have your fucking gun ready. Tell them to
That's
fucking
it.
leave.
It's-
They're
Get
not
on the
opening
phone.
my door.
Here's what you do. You get on the phone with 911. You tell them, I need somebody out here. Somebody's beating on my door. And as soon as they fucking breach that doorway, you pump them full of fucking rounds. And that's all
That
there
is
is to it.
exactly the way to
But
stay
you-
out
yeah.
of prison.
To cover your ass, make
So
sure
you
they
have to wait until the door's open.
apparently. And if
Because
they come
before
in
that,
blasting
there
at
is
you,
a
you're fucked.
physical barrier between you and the threat. There's no way that unless they have a firearm, there is nothing that person on the other side of the door can do to you to harm you. Nothing.
And it really sucks because you may not even know they have a firearm until they kick your fucking door in. So now you're in this fucking blazing gunfight that you're not ready for because most of us aren't. You know?
You better get the drop, dude. You better be ready.
Now, look,
before
here's another scenario that I think you have a right to do. Say you're in the garage, they come in the garage, they're trying to get through your door, and they fire a shot through your door.
Oh yeah,
I think it's fair game. I think it's I'm a pump back through the door and see what happens. You know.
Yeah. Yeah. So I guess the moral of the story is don't just go firing through a fucking door.
Don't.
Because you hear a noise.
Yeah.
Because you will wind up in fucking jail. Because I'm with Justin. I don't think this guy really stands a case in court because he killed a teenager for being mischievous in his garage, you know. But I just get so irritated that people think they have a fucking right to come and mess with your shit. You know what I mean? Now, like I said, I know that doesn't warrant a death penalty because somebody's stealing from you. But it's like, you know, fucking stop being a piece of shit, you know, and these cases wouldn't come up, you know. Somebody died now over this, you know. It's crazy, man. And somebody's going to fucking prison. You watch, they're going to lock this guy up, man.
Oh, they are. I think everybody should invest in paintball turret cameras. They sell them, right? Mount them inside the garage. They're set up with facial recognition.
I'll do it. I'll shoot somebody's fucking eye out, then I get sued now because some asshole was creeping around my shit and I put his eye out. So.
Nah, I'd be like, look, I test my paintball dodging skills in the garage, and they broke into my fucking dojo and got popped. Like, sorry, you know.
I want to thank you if you're tuning in. If you're just now tuning in, y'all make sure you hit that subscribe button. We are B.S.ing with the Guys show, doing what we do, and we got a sale going on. BSingWithTheGuys.com, 20% off anything you buy on there. Hit that promo code B.S.ing. Again, BSingWithTheGuys.com. Go check it out when y'all get a chance. Not right now. Don't leave the stream, but after the stream, y'all go check that out. Yeah. But anyway, so don't shoot through doors. So we learned that.
Nope. And the same thing, actually, right before we leave this, is with cars. You know, your car door and car window is considered a barrier as well. So if somebody's beating on your shit in traffic because you cut them off, you can't just shoot, you know, through the car door and
make sure they break unless they have a weapon.
Yeah, like I said, unless they brandish a weapon, because I have seen, you know, that before, where as soon as a gun's introduced to any situation, it's like that all bets are off then.
First shot.
So,
well, it's just like in the comments. It's like in the comments right here, Shane and y'all. It's like Teddy at 931 gun regulation, and that's the solution. I mean, I don't understand what he's saying. Is he saying more gun control? That's what it sounds like to me. But you know,
how is that So gun regulation, that's the solution to what?
Yeah.
To somebody else not having a gun on the other side of the door? I mean, I don't know.
Exactly.
Lil Terabyte, what's up, Lil Terabyte? Ain't seen you in a while. He said, I have a hammer. He's got a hammer under his mattress. So that's all you need, bro.
That's all you need.
That's all you need, man. Get you a good hammer.
No, look, man,
I don't ever want to be in that situation, but I've had nights, you know, where at 3 o'clock in the morning, somebody's knocking on my fucking door because they got the wrong house. So, yeah, I mean, I'm not going to go pull up and just, you know, start firing out the door because somebody's knocking on it. But it just seems like it jumps into a different territory when somebody breaks into your garage and you don't know who it is behind the door. You just know there's people in your shit. Now, is it irresponsible to go firing? Because it could have been one of my kids got out of bed and went in the garage. You know what I mean? Now I'm shooting fucking rounds into the garage. But I don't know what this guy's situation was at his house, but apparently he knew whoever was in there should not have been in that garage.
Yeah, or imagine, you know, somebody's running from the police, right? And they run into your garage. The police follow them. You hear commotion and start shooting through the garage door.
Yeah,
that's full of cops, you know?
It's true.
It'd be a terrible
100%.
situation.
No, I get it.
Yep.
I get it. So this guy has no hope. Y'all heard it here first. He's done.
He's going to jail, dude. Yeah, he's going to do a little time, dude.
The dude's going to prison, man.
Yeah, he is, dude. Yeah.
I seen another, speaking of gun, man, they had a clerk robbed, you know, 7-Eleven was robbed, of course. You know, woman that was the clerk there pulls out a fucking gun and shoots the dude who had a knife held on her. Well, you know, of course, 7-Eleven fires her ass because she wasn't,
of course,
supposed to have a gun. Now, it's crazy because she was by herself working the overnight shift, and their policies of no firearms at these kind of stores, it blows my mind. It's like, if you're going to have that kind of policy, you shouldn't be a 24-hour-a-day fucking store.
Or
You know
have
what I mean?
armed security.
Yeah, or
So
hire
true.
armed security. But if you're going to expect one employee, a woman, to be there by herself all night long, but she can't have anything to protect herself from some thug who walks in there with a fucking knife and grabs her, holds it up to her fucking throat, and she winds up shooting this son of a bitch. And she didn't get in any legal trouble, but she got fired. And I'm thinking, well, why do you have that woman there by herself all night long? 7-Eleven, shame on you. You know, all these gas stations, they do that shit because you're not supposed to have a firearm. Now, you see some of the owners of the places do, but just a regular employee at a lot of them, they don't want you having a gun behind the counter. And to me, like I said, if you're going to be open all night in certain areas or any fucking area, your employee should have a right to protect herself. So I think that's bullshit on 7-Eleven's part.
Yeah, unless the owners, like 7-Eleven, provided like bulletproof glass, and they were in this enclosure for 8 hours. I get it, you know, but
well, they
like
do
Justin
when it's
said,
the owners working there.
Right. When it's the owner, you're right. They're hiding behind bulletproof glass, but when they've got some lady working the overnight shift,
the cash register,
there's nothing there to protect this woman, and when she protects herself, she loses her fucking job. It's crazy, man.
Yeah.
It's nuts. Because look, when I was 18 years old, that was one of my first jobs. You know, I was working overnight in a Circle K, and it wasn't fun, dude. Because every time a car would pull up, I'm thinking, "Is this it?" You know, it's 2 o'clock in the morning. Like, because it's like, what are you doing out at 3 a.m? You know what I mean? So in my mind, it's like, all right, is this the one that's going to come in trying to, you know, get shit out of this register? And back then there were no cameras in stores, so there was no surveillance. I was, you know, you're by yourself working overnight. I had my gun on me, but I knew the owner of the store. You know what I mean? So it wasn't a big deal. But a lot of these places, that is the rule. You know, no firearms. And I'm thinking, why? Like, what do they have against that? What would it hurt? You know, I mean, I guess crazy shit can happen, you know, if you think somebody's robbing a store and you pull out the gun and shoot them, you know, but that's something that they got to deal with, you know. But as far as you leaving an employee, especially a lady, overnight working in your fucking store, and you're telling her she can't protect herself, I mean, it's ridiculous. Which I guess the woman should have said, I'm not doing this shit. Fuck you. I'm not working here overnight.
Yeah,
you know?
Fuck that job.
Yeah. I mean, it just ain't worth it, you know. I mean, she could have been killed. And then when she tries to protect herself, now she's out of a job, which it's 7-Eleven. It's not like she was working at fucking NASA, but, you know, still, I mean, it's what she had going for her, man. And now it's gone.
Exactly right. And now it's gone, dude. Yeah.
Now it's gone, dude. So anyway, what else is going on, man? What else? Justin,
do y'all know anything about that DoorDash video girl?
I saw a little bit about it.
What's the DoorDash video girl?
She like got an order, went to deliver it, and the guy's door was open, and he was like naked on his couch, and she videoed it.
Oh! I did see that headline, but I didn't read. So what? She got charged or something, didn't she?
Felony charges, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, because she decided to videotape this guy that was butt naked in his own house, which we all have the freedom to do.
We do.
We do.
Yeah. And what was she like? Her thing, like, oh my God, look at this guy.
Cracked. The door. Yeah. Well, she says she got sexually assaulted.
Yeah.
I don't really think that's sexual assault.
She was basically saying that he did it on purpose and left the door cracked so that she would have to see him naked.
He probably did. I mean, he was probably a fucking freaky ass little pervert, but
he's freak. Yeah, absolutely.
But yeah,
total.
I mean,
well, he says he had come home drunk, ordered food, and fell asleep on the couch. Left the door cracked and said, "Leave the food at the door." And in the video, legitimate. She pushed the door open and videoed it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I got you. So that's what it, okay. Yeah, I mean,
I think they were also saying that a part of the issue was that she didn't take the video and leave and call the cops. She took the video and left and posted it on TikTok.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, so, you can't do that.
No.
You can't do that at all. So, yeah, like I said, I did see that headline, Kristen. I just didn't read up what was going on with it. But, yeah, it sounds like, you know, she is in the wrong with that. I mean, if anything, if you really believed he did something, yeah, you go to the cops with it. You don't get on TikTok, which that's everybody's fucking, you know, that's their instinct nowadays is let me post this shit online. You know, and it's like, well, you can't really do that when you're videoing people butt naked in their home, you know? It's like,
I think it really, really, really is, you know, I mean, I think for her, like, the charges are going to stick, but as far as, like, whether he was or wasn't in the wrong, because it's a very debated story on what happened with the door, right? So like he's basically says that she opened it. She says it was already open, and there's zero video proof either way. So a lot of it comes down to that. So it's hard to say whether the door was
let me ask
open
you,
or left open.
Yeah, let me ask you, Justin, if the door was wide open, or Shane or Kristen, I'll ask y'all, if the door was wide open and somebody is totally fucked up and they're like, I want Chinese food, right? So it doesn't matter, really. Leave the food at the door, and it doesn't matter. I mean, it doesn't matter if the dude's butt naked.
Like, even if he was doing it on purpose.
It
doesn't matter. Yeah.
Pulling your pecker out in Walmart, you know, like you can't.
Well,
if you imagine like you live across the street from a school, right?
I thought that was
live across the street
encouraged in Walmart.
From a middle school, right? You can't open your blinds and just stand there butt naked and look at the kids and say, "Well, I was in my own house," you know.
Right.
You just can't do that.
Yeah, because in other words, you gotta have the door closed. Like people can't see in. You know what I mean?
It was the same thing that pastor went to jail for.
Yes, because people walk by the window and he's pegging some hooker, on the church pew. And because they were able to see it, he got in trouble. So I'm with you. Yeah, I think that is the case. Like, you can't just be doing shit like that, butt-ass naked, standing in front of a window, like you said. So you damn sure can't do it with the door open. And I doubt it was an accident.
No,
you know what I mean?
Definitely a weirdo.
Probably not, dude. Yeah. Probably a weirdo. Yeah,
I doubt, like I said, I doubt it was an accident, but it's not on her to go posting that shit all over TikTok.
No, had she have called the cops, it would probably have went the completely opposite direction, to be honest with you.
That's the point I'm trying to make. Yeah, exactly. You know, that's crazy.
What's John Doe saying? If the door was opened all the way, let me put that comment. If the door was opened all the way and she videoed, then that's a different matter. Yeah, well.
Well, I think
because he commented before.
Oh, okay. So I couldn't
His
keep up.
First comment was if the purchase order has the direction to leave the food at the door, then she is in the wrong. Which it did. It said on it like leave the food on the front porch by the door.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I got you. So leave the food and go on about your business, woman.
Pretty much.
Man's free balling. He don't look. It is what it is. He's comfortable in his own home. You know?
Well, but it was so weird because his pants and his boxers were around his ankles, so it wasn't even like he was walking around naked. He was just on the couch with his drawers.
What I do when I'm
his
waiting on
ankles.
pizza and shit to get delivered. I'm gonna start doing that with a Walmart delivery. Sitting.
So put it in the living room next to the TV.
Hey, so look, I got big glass doors, so I can leave mine closed technically. You know, and I say, hey, my door was closed. Sorry.
There's your loophole.
Oh, people are nuts. No, people are perverts. You know, he wanted whoever. He probably knew it was going to be a female delivery person. You know, and it just, people are like that, man. It's just weird. It's like, what do you get out of just showing? Look in my cock and balls. Like, what do you get out of that by just showing it to? Like, I don't know. What kind of thrill is that? It's weird.
He thought it was going to be like one of them plumber scenes, you know.
He watched too many old pornos. Exactly. She was going to come in there. Yeah, that's what it was. This is how you pick up a woman.
Oh my God, look at it.
Speaking of that, did you hear all the way that they described Jeffrey Epstein shit? Like, one woman was saying that it's basically like a lemon. Another one was saying it's like an egg. Like they said he had micro penis syndrome. You know, that he's got it was some kind of disorder or something. And they all described his stuff as like real short. And look, one girl was saying about 2 inches long and like shaped like a lemon. And I'm like, Jesus Christ.
Right,
and I'm thinking, that's what I'm thinking too, Kristen. I'm like, that's not what we wanted released when we were talking about release these files. I mean, that's like,
oh my God.
There's your files.
So anyway, he had a lemon dick. That's crazy, man.
That's awesome.
Do what you want with that information, people. Sorry. But this is the type of shit you're going to learn watching this show.
Matter of fact, making AI recreate that tonight.
Do it, and we'll put it on here. But anyway, if you're watching the show, make sure you subscribe, please. We do this every week. We go live. We talk some shit. We have some fun. We enjoy conversating with y'all in the comments. It's what keeps it going. I seen your boy Cody, WhistlinDiesel, arrested for fucking tax evasion. It's like, what is up with these wealthy people that just don't pay fucking taxes?
And man, did you read the story? Like,
I didn't. I mean, kind of caught what he was saying online a little bit, but I didn't really, I was just thinking, oh Lord, another one of evading taxes, or is it not that cut and dry?
It's not that cut and dry because it's like I get people that live in Cali do the same thing, but usually it's to get around the emissions and shit. But he bought that Ferrari, I guess he's got a 2024 Ferrari he just bought, and he registered it in wherever his LLC is located, some state that doesn't have sales tax, right? So he didn't register it in Tennessee so that he wouldn't have to pay sales tax on it. Well, Tennessee says that he was evading their state taxes by doing that, by registering in a different state. So that's what they arrested him on.
Oh, so how much money are we talking about?
Whatever the taxes are on, probably about $1 million or so, I would assume.
So so then how is he? I mean, he's denying it. I did see that I didn't do nothing wrong. So I mean,
he's saying that he had a company. He was like, I just happened to have a company in a different state that I registered the car with.
Yeah.
Tennessee, where I live, is saying that I only registered the car in that state to evade their state taxes.
Right. Yeah, and I figured that's why I didn't really read too deep into it, because I when it had something to do with a car, I'm thinking I know the boy's got the money to pay taxes on whatever fucking car he's destroying,
Yep.
And it's like, so I just figured there was a little bit more to it, but they did lock his ass up, so they found something, I mean, he got out, of course, quick.
Yep.
But
that's because they probably found that he really had no business in this other state. Like he had a business registered, but he didn't have like a business there, so he basically made the LLC to register cars in so that he wouldn't have to pay a state tax when he bought a car.
But see, why do that?
Rental car companies do that
so that you don't have to pay taxes.
They might. I know, but I'm saying if you're making the kind of money he's making, because I know the episode, he destroyed that fucking Ferrari, which is fine, whatever, because he probably made 10 times what he bought that Ferrari for on that video.
Yeah.
So you're worried about dodging these taxes and you're risking something like this over a few dollars. You know what I mean? It's weird. I just don't know, why go through all that trouble to avoid some taxes when you got the fucking money, because this is what it leads to now. They want their fucking money. They want every penny. So then they come and put your ass in jail for it. It's just weird. I don't know. It's weird.
Taxes suck, dude.
Well, they do. I agree. But, to try to go around these sneaky ways of not paying them, it just winds up where you're in jail. I mean, it's like when you have the money, you know what I mean? Just fucking pay the damn taxes on the car. You bought the car and move on, But
do you think the elites do that?
Everybody.
Do you think the elites do that?
No, hell no.
No.
Never.
Yeah. I remember, I'm going way back years ago, probably with John Kerry, because they jumped his ass about tax issues about some sailboat he owned, and it was registered in Rhode Island versus whatever state he was from, And it's nothing happened to him. They didn't come pick him up and take him to jail, No,
they're not. And that's why I don't even, I'm not saying that this WhistlinDiesel kid, he deserves to be going to jail for it, but I'm saying why risk that? Because you're not on the level of these fucking politicians. They're coming after you, apparently.
Yeah.
So and to just avoid the nonsense when you can afford it, because look, I say get around paying.
Nope. I say fuck them, dude. And I'm sure he took advice of a tax attorney or a CPA.
I was just about to say that. It
you know what I'm saying?
He got some bad fucking advice if he was doing that. You know what I mean? And he may get off on this. Maybe he didn't do anything wrong. But I'm with you. It's I say fuck him too, but it's at what point is it just not worth the trouble, when you're making that kind of money? It's I'm not going to try to cheat the system and risk going to jail over a few dollars when I'm making millions. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe that's just my thinking, but I know some other people's thinking is fuck them, man. They, they take enough from us. So I get it. I get both sides of it.
Yeah. They take way too much from us, man. And
well, they do.
Look, he might have had some bad advice, but why would it even be legal that you could set up a shell company in Nevada or North Dakota or wherever it might be, and say, hey, just register everything through this, but I'm using it in Louisiana. You know what I'm saying?
Well, like you said, it's not like wealthy people don't do that all the fucking time and get away with it.
Every day.
So I get it.
Every day. Yeah. They just want to make an example of the young man.
The Spanish guys do it because they can register their cars without insurance and licenses, and like they can't get insurance because they don't have a license, and they can't get a license because they're not fully legal. So they just register their shit in, Washington or Nevada and
the states that allow it. Yeah. Exactly.
Well, then fuck yeah, we should all be able to do it. Free my boy. Oh, well, he's free, but no, no.
He's got
drop
some
the charges.
Yeah, drop the charges on. Damn it.
He's poking the bear
white,
too.
dude.
He said they picked the wrong one to try to set an example with. So
yeah, well, because for one, he knows it's not like he's on the hook for millions to where he's facing any kind of time. So you can be cocky with this case, because
we're talking about a car
scenario. Yeah, worst case scenario, you got to come out your pocket for a couple grand or whatever the fuck the taxes are, maybe a few grand. Who knows? But it's nothing that he don't have. So I'm with him. I would be cocky too on this one because it's like you can't do shit to me. I mean, worst case scenario, I got to pay you motherfuckers. Then fuck off, get the fuck out my face. You know what I mean? So I get it, but I guarantee you, if he was facing some shit where he had dodged millions of dollars worth of fucking income tax and shit, and he was facing federal time, he wouldn't be so cocky. No. I guarantee it. But anyway, Kristen, you pay all your taxes, right?
Unfortunately.
Don't ever cheat the system, ever.
Never.
No.
We don't.
I would pay more.
That. Yeah.
I'd click that upper right box that you want to donate more.
Honestly, you should. For the ones that are cheating the system, you should pay more to take up for that. That's
absolutely, dude. Absolutely.
That's what
Just
we
check
do
that
here.
box at the top right and how much you want to donate. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, we love the government. Yeah. Yay, IRS. Yay.
Yay. I love them, dude. I love when they hit me with them taxes. I love paying it. Yeah.
You're doing your part, huh?
Absolutely.
Doing your part to keep this country going around.
Keeping all these roads so nice without potholes, no bumps,
dude, isn't it beautiful, dude?
It is. It's great.
Yeah.
Well, what else? Anything else going on? Hot? What's going on?
What's up with this Plaskett chick?
The who? What?
The Plaskett lady that was texting Epstein on the.
Oh yeah, she's from the Virgin Islands, man. She's a Democrat, right?
Yeah. Bro, I don't even know what y'all talking about. Y'all got to educate me.
What the?
I can't keep up with all the Epstein news.
I understand.
Plaskett. Who were they? Yeah. They were questioning somebody. So she is Stacey Elizabeth Plaskett. She's an American politician. Yes. We know all that.
I think it's so deep, dude.
For this.
God, I think it's so deep. All of this with Jeffrey Epstein and Democrats, it's deeper than you think. It'll never come to light, but God, it's so deep. Like they say, the chickens have come home to roost. They really have, dude. They really have. They really have. When you look at the whole ball of wax with that, man, and it's like all the money that was being transferred. Hakeem Jeffries, he's all up in there. Barack Obama, Bill Clinton, Hillary Clinton, Bill Gates, they're all involved, man. And I'm not even talking about the actors that are probably involved with it. It's But will it come to light? I don't know. Probably not. Yeah, probably not.
If we were on that list, our names would.
Absolutely.
These high profile people.
Ain't happening, dude.
It's terrible.
Yeah. I think it's deeper than that. I think CIA, man, ain't no telling, man, where it goes, We got to be careful what we say,
Yep. Well, let's let me see. Let's do our little segment. We're going to help bring a kid home. We do it once a week.
Let's bring them
home. See her there.
Oh, look at that cutie.
Yeah, look at little Miss Maya. I think you pronounce her name Rizmion. I don't know.
Rizmion.
Yeah, your best guess. But either way, you see her face. Precious little thing from Phoenix, Arizona. You see the number up there. You recognize this little girl. Call that number so you can get this baby home. And it's the one that gets our attention this week. There's too many of them, dude. Too many of them. I go down that list every week. I get on there, and I just scroll the list of missing children, trying to see, which one we can highlight for the week. And I'm like, Jesus Christ, dude. It's like, it just never ends. It just never ends,
Yep.
And a lot of it, honestly, from what I see, a lot of it's parent on parent shit. Like the mom will take off,
Right.
And then the dad's like, fuck's my kid, shit like that. But
true.
Either way, I mean, as a parent, if the other side takes off and takes your damn child, it's just as bad as anybody abducting them and taking them from your life. So, but anyway, we'll try to do our little part here. But
look, before we go, I want to spread out a little For all the God-fearing people out there, I want to spread a little love for the people in Nigeria, man. I don't know if anybody's heard. It hasn't really made a whole lot of mainstream media, but if you read into it, I mean, we're talking 7,000 Christians this year that have been slaughtered, to babies, to people because of just the religion that they practice. And it's sickening. I've seen some deep videos, and it's really, really... It really affects me, man. And I'm a Christian, man.
Just this year alone, like you said, man, they're averaging, 30 some odd people per day, that are being
it's
Christians
crazy
that are being killed.
It's crazy. And what's being done, bro? What's being done, dude? Nothing.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out what, because they got a lot of people that are trying to paint it as something that it's like it's not that. That's just not what's going on. Basically, you know what I mean. It's not that bad. There's no genocide going on. They're not over there just slaughtering people over religion. So I see a lot of fighting going on with that. Because the Nigerian response, I mean, their officials deny the genocide. They're welcoming the U.S. anti-terror aid, but they're rejecting intervention. You know what I mean? Yeah. So they want the aid, but they don't want us to come over there and put an end to this shit.
Look, and we can start a whole nother conversation with that. Just look in South Africa, what they're doing to the white people over there with the farms and just the genocide that's going on over there. So it's a whole nother debate. But I just saw it, and I saw some deep videos where, they're burying young kids alive, and all based on religion. And it's all over the world. It's crazy. So anyway. I'm just
I get it. Yeah, I saw a little bit about it. I don't know a ton of what's going on over there, but like I said, I do know that of course the officials over there are oh no, it's not going on that bad, but send us some aid, but we don't need you over here.
So true.
It just seems like that's what every country wants from us is some fucking form of aid. You know what I mean?
Yep. It's so true.
Yeah, they all accept that aid with open arms, but they don't want us anywhere near their shit.
Yeah,
crazy.
Exactly.
I need some aid. Send me some aid.
We all need aid. AID.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, they said death toll to Christians 125,000 since 2009. And you tell me that's not a problem? You know what I mean?
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly.
It's these Islamists, these jihadists, fucks over there. I mean, it's crazy to even try to deny that that's going on. But anyway, what were you saying, Justin?
I saw a post today. I don't know if y'all saw it about I think Italy launched an investigation into the reports of sniper tourism during the siege of Sarajevo.
Was that the one
back in the 90s?
You could pay like 39 grand or something and go smoke some people.
That's exactly what it was.
Is that what,
you could get with the Bosnian troops, and you could the rich were paying to go over there and take up Bosnian and Czech sniper positions and basically snipe civilians, the opposing army, and they would pay more for civilians.
Well, I heard
from that.
I heard too they would pay more for kids.
Yes,
how
for
sick
kids,
is that?
For women, and it basically was like kids at the top, then women, then civilian men, then soldiers was the price tier list.
Now, is there any?
Is that at?
That was back in the 90s, over by Bosnia and Czechoslovakia and whatnot.
Kristen's like, oh yeah,
Serbia and all that kind of stuff.
But it's being brought to light now that there was legit sniper tourism happening, and they're just paying. And going
I was gonna ask that. Is there any proof to this? I mean, because we fact check everything on this show, so I wanted to make 100%. Sure. Or is this just accusations being thrown around right now?
Well, pretty much. I mean, it's going through. There's legal complaints filed.
Yeah.
And as much proof as people saying, hey, this fucking happened, and starting to show stories and share pictures and shit. But it's going through the legal process, and we'll see. I mean, nothing's gonna come from it as far as jail time and shit. But
right.
It's just nuts that it's like a safari, and
it was 90 grand. You could go kill somebody. It's like who's signing up for that? What kind of people are? It's crazy, man.
I know.
It's just amazing that people like that exist. It's nuts.
They do. Oh, they do.
And they said that's exactly how people were treating it. Some were, basically coerced by wanting to help the good side. So they would, basically their story was that they would pay to go over there and help shoot the bad guys and shoot the soldiers. But then they just, had people that were complete psychopaths that were like, no. We want to shoot the citizens.
Yeah, because they were saying a lot hunt. Like there was no political or religious motivations. It was just rich people who went there for fun and just personal satisfaction is what the claims are.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I don't know. It's pretty sick if that shit was going on. But it's amazing it stayed covered for so long. Like you said, it's like the fucking 90s, man. And it's just now coming to light. That's weird. I don't know how that stayed undercover for so long. Something like
Apparently
that.
There's a documentary that was from 2022.
That might have been
called Sarajevo Safari.
So I'm gonna have to watch that, dude. Yeah. It's incredible. Damn. Yeah. And look, I think we're in a point in our life, man, where honestly it's, right versus left in this country. That's what it seems like the big thing is. But dude, I truly believe, man, it's good versus evil, man. I do.
Yeah. That's the world. That's the world in general. Yeah.
It's the world in general, man, of what we up against in the world,
Yeah.
So,
Kristen, what was that? Go ahead, Joe. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I was asking you what you were saying.
Oh, I was asking that documentary I sent you with that missing girl, that Amy Bradley or whatever, that you watched it the other night.
I watched it a while.
But I mean, you did watch it though.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think it was that girl that went missing on that cruise, man, and it's just that she's still missing. I mean, that's been years now. But I know you guys probably.
I assume it's not the same one. You said she was missing, but my thought didn't stop. But because I just read today about a chick that went missing on the cruise, and they found her under the bed, like wrapped up in a sheet and shit.
Yeah,
that's
different.
She was like 15 or something. They're about to charge the stepbrother. But anyway, go ahead.
No, this is, and I know you guys hadn't seen it, so I was just talking to Kristen real quick. What do you think happened to that girl? You think she's still living? You think that she's like in sex trafficking, or you think she fell off that cruise ship?
No, I think she's somewhere out there alive.
That's kind of what I got just from the witnesses that were. You know the case, like Brad?
No, very little of it, dude. But yeah,
but you remember?
I'm with Kristen. Yeah, I think she's out there. I just think that, and look, when you go international, you have to obtain to their laws, and when you're international. It's not like in America no more,
that's
man.
That's basically what the security lady that was, she's worked security for these cruises before, and she was saying that when you're there, like you're basically in its own little country when you're out there in international waters. And 100%. The only people that are controlling anything is the one driving the fucking boat. And then, these hired little security guards that are on there, but they don't want any bad publicity on these cruises.
No.
So she said this type of shit happens a lot more than people know, where these people go missing on these cruises, but they don't want that shit out there. And I mean, the way she was talking, I mean, she's devoted her life, this lady, because it happened to her daughter also. So now she's devoted her life to trying to make these cruises more secure, and shit like that, working with a team of people to try to stop a lot of this, because she said it's very prevalent, man. And like I said, we don't hear about it a lot, but that's because they don't want that shit heard about.
They cover it. Yeah,
like absolutely. Teddy said in the comments, they'd posted her ads on a list on Craigslist. Website like that.
Yes, on a sex, a little prostitution type thing. They and it looked like her when you look at the pictures on that documentary. I mean, it really looks like her on there. So I'm thinking it was, and it's a shame they can't track that down. But part of what they're facing is these other countries don't just allow us to come in there and start investigating.
Exactly.
You would think they would. It's like, hey, we're missing one of our citizens. So, she's caught up in, from what we understand, some kind of sex trafficking. Can we come poke around? They're not all with that, because for one, it brings bad light to their country. And when a lot of them make money on tourism, they don't want that kind of shit. You know what I mean?
Nope.
They don't want to shed light on those types of crimes. There's a lot of drug activity going on. There's a lot of the sex trafficking going on. But they don't want people hearing that shit. So they don't want the U.S. over there snooping around, But that woman could be found if they would just allow it, because it seems like she's out there. They've had a few good hits on her.
I definitely believe so.
Yeah, it's a shame, man, because and if she is, apparently they've got her so afraid to even reach out. You know what I mean? It's like just to email somebody and say, look, I'm here. They're holding me,
or how can
crazy.
she, right? Yeah.
True.
Exactly.
True.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, supposedly she called. She called, or she knocked on a cab and was looking for a phone or something. But she supposedly in another situation, she told somebody who she was or something a couple times, but she never reached out to the family. Yeah. Yes. And it's like, I guess, I mean, they can have you in that much fear if they threaten your family. I don't know. Impossible. I don't know, man. I'd almost take that chance.
Or another theory is that she has a kid.
That's true. Yeah, I didn't think about that. They said she could have children by now over there by these captors, so she doesn't want to. They could be threatening her children. You tell anybody what's going on, we kill your kids, or you leave, you run away. So yeah, you're right. True. I mean, you never know the situation somebody like that is in. But I don't know. I mean, I hope she's alive. I just she could have felt off the boat because the neighbor seemed weird. The guy that was in the adjacent room, to her when he was talking about he was leaning over the balcony talking to her. And one of the theories was that she was trying to climb over the balcony to get around to go to his room, and she fell. Boom.
I don't think so.
You know what I mean? Yeah, I don't. Yeah, I don't think so either. I think they got that girl, and I think that fucking bass player in that band had something to do with it. Mm-hmm. Because he was dancing with her and shit, and he was acting all funny that night on the security cameras, and they go upstairs, up all the way up to the top deck in the middle of the night, and he comes down by himself. These witnesses are saying, so I think that bastard has something to do with it. But
I don't know much about this recent one though.
The one where they were under the bed, like Justin was talking about.
Yeah, I saw like a headline, but I didn't really look into it.
Yeah, it's like the FBI is looking into it like right now, into charging I think the stepbrother was 14 and the girl was 16, and she was missing, and the housekeeping ladies found her wrapped up in a sheet, dead under the bed in the room that she was, I guess, sharing with her stepbrother. It was her dad, her stepmom, and 3 of her step siblings.
Yeah, so 18 years old, she was found wrapped in under a bed, wrapped in blankets. Let's see. Kepner was reportedly on a family vacation in the Caribbean with her father, stepmother, 3 step siblings. So yeah, criminal case may be initiated.
Family vacation too, dude.
Yeah, the family. Damn. Huh.
Damn. Yeah,
it's crazy. Was her cause of death, though? They say cause of death is still pending.
Yep.
Right.
Oh yeah. Huh. That's crazy. I didn't even hear about that one, man.
The moral of the story is, don't take a cruise. Stay the fuck away, dude.
Hey, y'all remember when they were trying to say Walmart was sex trafficking them women?
Walmart?
Oh, Wayfair.
Wayfair.
Oh, was it Wayfair?
Wayfair.
Yes, it was Wayfair. Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
They were selling the wardrobes, and they had the picture of the women after every single wardrobe. It was a different woman.
$6,000 you could buy this cabinet, dude, and enclosed was 2 kids or something. It was crazy,
because it would be like $6 or $8 grand for like a wardrobe or a cabinet, and if you scroll through the pictures, the last picture was a picture of a woman's face, and it was a different woman on every wardrobe.
It's crazy.
Really? I didn't even fucking. Where was I at? I didn't see that.
I have no clue. Yeah, it was huge.
Look up the Wayfair scandal, dude. Yeah, it'll fucking feel. It's crazy, dude. It's fucking crazy.
Wayfair sex trafficking.
Selling these women,
sex trafficking. Absolutely, dude. Crazy.
Let's see. Let me dig into it. The claims that the online retailer Wayfair is involved in sex trafficking scheme are false, unfounded conspiracy theories.
That's exactly what a sex trafficker would say.
Google. The theories largely originated with the QAnon conspiracy movement.
Of course, dude. Blame it on the fucking the right.
Wayfair, well, listen, Wayfair has denied the claims. So,
of course,
take that for what you want. But
case closed.
Explaining that the products were legitimate, commercial-grade items, accurately priced for industrial use, and that product names were generated by an algorithm. Blame it on the algorithm. The company temporarily moved the items to rename them and provide clear descriptions and photos, which ironically fueled further suspicion among conspiracy theorists. So do what you want with that information. I choose to believe it. So
I believe it too.
I choose to believe it. It's funner. It's a little more fun that way. So
yeah, absolutely.
Well, damn, y'all hit me with a crazy one. What else we got?
I don't know. Yeah, we started from Nigeria to that. Jesus Christ.
I was actually listening to a story about these 3 engineers. It was 3 engineers that stole $50 million cash from the cartel. they had a tunnel between Juarez and I believe Texas. They had a tunnel built, and they had these 3 engineers working on the tunnel to make sure that, you know, it stayed energized and the railways were good
collapse
and
right.
Yeah, shit, right. So the engineers had a radio set up in the tunnel, and the cartel would basically wait on, you know, each side of the tunnel waiting for a shipment to come, and they'd travel it through. Well, the engineers had a radio set up, and they wound up intercepting a message that the DEA was going to raid this tunnel in whatever it was, a week or, you know, a week and a half, something like that. So they were like, all right, cool. So they said 12 hours before the DEA raids, basically, we're going to get all the cash out of the tunnel. We're going to move it out into a box truck, and we're going to fucking disappear. And that's exactly what the fuck they did. It took them 5 hours, I believe, to move all the duffel bags on the rail cart, and they smuggled all the cash out of the tunnel into the box truck and rolled out about 25 minutes before the DEA showed up to raid the tunnel. And not one of the engineers have been heard from since. The cartels looked for them. They put money on their heads. The DEAs looked for them. All 3 of their apartments were wiped clean and gone. So nobody knows if the cartel caught them and killed them, if they're alive, if they're living somewhere, if they're just, you know, happy life. But yeah, $50 million split between 3 of them.
50 mil
cash.
Wow.
Yeah, might be worth trying to fuck over the cartel for. I don't know.
Yeah, especially if you knew a raid was coming, and it's like, oh, they're getting fucking raided tonight. Oh yeah.
Yeah. Damn.
I'm taking my chances.
Yeah, I'm with you. All right. Well, let's wrap it up. If you haven't subscribed yet, please hit that button. We'll be back next week. I'm assuming Wednesday, unless something crazy happens, on a different day. But we'll be back at it next week, doing the same thing. We appreciate y'all checking us out. Like I said, hit that subscribe button, and
we need it.
We'll be back. Y'all be good.